Here's your host of Shaping Success, Wes Tankersley.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Shaping Success. I'm your host, Wes Tankersley. This morning coffee, a little bit more awake than normal because, well, I gotta take a trip this morning. And we'll see how long this goes. We'll see what's going on. If you're joining us on TikTok, you can head over to Shaping Success with Wes Tankersley on YouTube to get into the conversation. And I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about something that was on my mind this morning. I woke up this morning, I got an email from a friend of mine, from someone I know. And I'm not really going to talk in depth about what the email was, but essentially someone who I work with, someone who is a friend of mine, someone who I know, has decided that in my life not in my life, but with what I have going on, that they will be moving on. And so for me, I went through some emotions this morning. I was kind of like, man, what the hell? How come they didn't tell me? How come, how do I feel about it? How does it affect me? What are my thoughts? And it really went to me first. Like, it went to me first, and that's how it kind of took me off guard. And I started thinking about it, about people in your life, right? And this came to mind. It was like, you have to do what's best for you, right? I think like within business or within life or with whatever you're doing, you have to do what's best for you, and you can't take into account the feelings of others. And I wonder if if like sometimes I project that on people. Like I know that you have to be empathetic for people, right? I know that you have to care about them and understand, but the reality of the thing is that you have to be willing to take care of yourself first. Jen Henley over on TikTok says, if someone wants to walk out of your life, let them go. And that is the hardest part, right? Because we emotionally go to, what did I do wrong? Is this me? And that's it. Jessica says you can be kind to the point of self-destruction. So going back and forth between TikTok, and I'm just like, these are points that I'm thinking about, and this is what I'm going to get to, because it's really what it's about. Okay, so although this person and I have a relationship, I work with her every single day. I'm happy that she helps me. She does all the things that she does for me. Yes, I see you on YouTube, Nikki. Thank you. Sorry, I probably should comment over there because I'm just bouncing back and forth. But they're so helpful to me. They do so much for me. I have a relationship with this person, but they need to move on. They need to go do something that's going to better themselves. And I think that at first it was kind of selfish with me. Like, what? It just kind of took me off guard, right? Which kind of brings me to the point of this, all right? I've said this before, but like mental health or your life in general, you get on an airplane, right? And they tell you, hey, all right, before you help anyone else, you got to put the life jacket on yourself. Like if there's a water landing, put the life jacket on yourself, blow up your life jacket, make sure you're taken care of, then take care of the other person. Well, that's the way life is in general, right? And a lot of us will do a bunch of things for other people and not take care of ourselves, okay? And that is, as Jessica said a little bit earlier, that can lead to self-destruction, because you're actually really not doing yourself any, you're not doing yourself any service because you're not taking care of yourself. And I think I've talked about the hierarchy of my family and how I think about things in general, where in my family, right, I have to make sure that I am mentally in the right place, right? I have to make sure that things are going good for me before I can make sure that things are going good for other people. And it's really, really hard. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate it. It's really, really hard to understand that sometimes for some people, because some people are so willing to give because they think that that's the right thing to do, but then they forget about themselves. And so I don't think that this person had that issue. I think that this is more of a me problem, because I'm starting to think about like all the things that they do for me. And the cool thing about it was, in my mind, it was like, well, what does this person do for me? And then I instantly, like that was a quick question in my mind, but then I went to, good for them. They are doing what's best for them. And it doesn't change the way that I feel about that person. I'm so grateful for everything that they did for me, but I'm okay with it, because I should be number one. Like, number one, that is something that I should be. Like, I should be okay with people moving on, right? But they have to do what's best for them, just like I have to do what's best for me, okay? And I think a lot of times people will get caught in like you get stuck in a job and you stay there because it's helping someone else out, or you're taking care of someone else, or you're doing something that you're doing, and it's not about you. And then you start to really get destructive with yourself, and you're like tearing everything down, and you are in a bad mood about things, and you just can't get it right. I hope I'm making sense, because to me, it's like in my mind, I'm processing it right now, because it's something that happened really early this morning. Got up, read an email, and was like, holy shit. So that's kind of it, right? I think we have to realize that, number one, just like in that plane, you have to take care of yourself first, okay? And if you're doing something for someone else, but it's not bringing you joy, it's not making you happy, you're not doing whatever you're doing for you, then it does become something that is a bad thing. So remember that, okay? So number one, that's really what it's about. Taking care of yourself first, okay? And if you don't do that, then other things can boil down or happen, okay? So that's kind of where my mind was this morning. I was just like, wow, this is just crazy. But then on the same token, it's like, we've been talking about it. I'm not surprised that I'm not surprised that it has happened. I'm just surprised that I didn't know about it first. So, yeah. And that's a tough thing, and as I'm sitting here, talking to people, I'm sitting there thinking about how this relates to me. It's like there's so many people who do so many things for me that I honestly hope that I don't, it's like sometimes you wonder if you're taking advantage of people, even though I know I'm not, and that's not the intention, but hopefully that works out. So anyway, that's kind of where my brain was at. I'm going to look and see. I don't know why my computer's being silly. Trying to pull up some quotes here that kind of talk about that, so that we can kind of talk about that. But I guess my computer is like, my mouse backwards. I don't know. My computer's being stupid over here on the browser side. So we do this every morning. We kind of get this little conversation going with morning coffee, and that's kind of the topic this morning. Taking care of yourself first. Remember that. Remember to do that. I don't know why my computer is being stupid, because now I can't pull up what I want to look at. I am live on 4. So TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. I can't see my restream right now, but 4 platforms. So anyway, kind of a short one this morning. I have got to get going. I've got to fly. Gary, good morning. If you guys have questions, you can drop them real quick here, but I have got to drive 2 hours away this morning. I've got to get to an appointment that is in McCall, Idaho, which is a couple hours away. But think about that this morning. Think about how you can talk to someone, If there's people in your life and you're dealing with them every single day and they do a lot for you, make sure that they're okay. It goes along with checking in, making sure that they're doing the thing that's best for them. Okay. So that's really where it's at. I wish I could pull up some other stuff here to kind of reference to, but for some reason my computer is being dumb. These updates that Apple has had over and over again kind of wreak havoc. And then when you run a bunch of programs in the background, which like I do, it does kind of bother things. So anyway, that's where we're at. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to upload this podcast right now, but I hope that you guys have a great, great day. Until next time, I challenge you to find a shape of your success. This is funny. Nothing is working right now. Maybe my mouse died. No, it didn't die because it's moving. Well, this one may not go on the podcast, but there you go. Have a great day. It's funny, like I can't get this thing. I'm going to have to kill my computer. Nothing's working. All right. Well, you guys, thanks for hanging out. I'm sorry this one's not going to go. I don't know if it's going to go up there, but at least we got the live information out there. And I hope that you'd go out and reach out to someone today that is in your life and just make sure that they're okay, because a lot of times they're going to make sure that you're okay first, and you need to check in on them too. So have a great day. It's funny, I can't get my computer to do anything. I don't know if it's a mouse or. And it's the funny thing is that it's live streaming right now and it won't even shut down. So I'm going to have to unplug the dang thing.